Again. I just wanted to tell you another story. I had one morning on my way to work, right after I became a Christian. I've been a Christian for about a month, and I was really wanting to hear a good joke. Before I became a Christian, I knew all of the jokes around Tinker Air Force Base. I was an expediter, so I went all over 3001, getting parts and things like that, whatever the mechanics needed. And so I knew a lot of people, and so people were always telling me jokes, and as soon as I heard a joke, I would go tell it to someone else, and they might not have been the best clean jokes in the world. And after I became a Christian, I stopped doing that, and just one day on my way to work, I said, Lord, I would just like to hear a really good joke and really laugh. Well, I went on to work, and I was always trying to drag somebody into a Bible study. And so on this particular day, I had a friend, I'm going to call her Lucy. And Lucy and I were supposed to go to a Bible study, and I was dragging her all the time to Bible studies. And this particular day, she was having a bad day, and right before lunchtime, she said, hey, let's go into the bathroom. And she said, I'm not going to go to Bible study with you today. And we both went into our same stalls that we always went to, and I was like, hey, you really need to go to Bible study today. You're having a bad day, and the word of the Lord will make you feel better, and you need him now more than ever. And so I was just talking to her, and I was preaching and told her what a good father we had, and that she needed to go, and even at sometimes I even got emotional and teared up. And she wasn't saying anything. I could see her feet under the stall, but I was really into this. And so anyway, I came out of the stall, and I was like, you're not saying anything. Why don't you answer me? And she never said anything. I said, come on, Lucy. Come on with me. And I said, do you hear me? She didn't say anything. And there just so happened to be a chair in that restroom. And I pulled that chair over to her stall, and I said, can you hear me? And then I did my very best Sergeant Carter, can you hear me? And I jumped up on the chair, and I looked over the stall, and I said, can you hear me? Well, there was a lady sitting there. It was not my friend. My friend had ditched me, and I had been giving this sermon to someone I didn't even know. I had seen her around my area, but I didn't know her. And she looked up at me, and she said, good sermon. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I ran out of the bathroom, and I was laughing so hard. I laughed. I didn't go to Bible study. I was too busy laughing. And at that time, we didn't have cell phones. I went to the payphone and called my sister and told her. And I was laughing so hard, she thought I was crying. But anyway, so I told the people in my shop what happened, including Lucy, and they took up an offering for me. And I was known from that time on. I wasn't known as the potty mouth, but as the Potty Preacher. And it just was hilarious at that time. They even, and I had a bag of money for my efforts. Years later, maybe 20 years later, I met up with this lady at a housewarming party. And I was surprised to see her, and she took me off the side, and she said, do you remember that day that you were preaching in the bathroom, and you looked over the stall and was talking to me? And I said, yeah, I remember that. And she said, well, I had been away from the Lord for a long time, and I knew I needed to get back into church and get back into having a relationship with him. And she said, after you stuck your head over that petition, she said, I got right with the Lord, and I have been with my family saved, and we are living a good life. And she said, I really appreciated that after it was over with. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you that story. Wanted to let you know my phone number, 850-9503. If you have any questions, if you'd like to talk, just give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. Have a beautiful day. God bless you.